Good morning, everyone. This is Nate G. It's January 24th on a Wednesday. We're going over some trades. The market is gapping up on news um, on Netflix earnings and some continuation of some already extended names. And we've got a couple of trades on, so we're going to go over those and then see what else there is to mark up and set up and answer and all those things. Dell, yeah, right. Careful what I say. So I got in V here on this nice little 30-minute squeeze. I mean, we are looking at a really, really. I mean, V is just crushing it right now. Um, and I'm looking for a little bit of a continuation move. We've got, earnings coming up tonight. So I'm just kind of looking into this, continuation push into the end of the end of the day here. And so they're very short dated options. And I'm really only looking for like maybe 20% because we're kind of in this high and tight formation. Um, but the market's going to need to cooperate there as well. Um, hey Harry, where in Germany are you? What part of Germany? I used to live in Germany um, when I was younger, in Munich. I went to school in Starnberg. That's pretty cool. Trading from Europe. I love it. Kristen, are you in Munich? Okay, that's cool. Love it. I love Germany. Starnberg. Yeah, I went to the Munich International School there in Starnberg. I believe it's still there. Yeah, what a great city, huh? Oh, cool, Rick. That's awesome. A lot of people, either from Germany or been to Germany, love that. Great food and beer. Yeah, I was a little young to drink the beer, but great food. Yeah, that's awesome. I miss it. I need to go back. I went back slightly after college and visited, but I haven't been back since. So I would love to go back. I'd love to take my daughter over there. Right in the middle of Starnberg. Wow, that's pretty cool. Rick, oh, your dad was in the or parent was in the military. Sorry, I didn't want to assume it was your father. That's pretty cool. Update on Microsoft. I didn't take a Microsoft trade. That's probably someone else. I did like it on a 30 minute. I just never pulled the trigger on it. So I'm in V here, just kind of watching for the market to kind of do what we're hoping it's going to do. We need to get some ticks going here for us to really have a continuation today. Obviously, Netflix will make its pop if that happens. Um, I am still in Walmart. We got a nice little push up yesterday. We kind of came into this upper resistance level and pulled right back into the sort of point of control area. This is still a very valid setup. It's now a squeeze on the 78, and I mean on the 60 minute, and again on the 78. So a lot of these things that will start out as squeezes on the 30 minute, because I love to look at a 30-minute squeeze. That's kind of my favorite time frame to start to find things that are consolidating. and either get a quick pop or watch them turn into longer dated squeezes through that pattern. So Walmart is still intact. Somebody said they already took some off Walmart and might jump back in. I like that. It's still valid. Still a very valid setup. I am still in KKR. KKR, popped up. This is a great TPS looking trade. They have earnings coming up in about a week maybe. Um, but I'm kind of watching this for just a continued move. I'm kind of far dated because that's a daily chart. CBOE, as you can see, hit our target 1 and our target 2 on this trade. That was a great trade. I have not taken this off yet because I actually bought put credit spreads for under 185 for Friday. So I'm sitting pretty on these. I'm gonna evaluate them into the end of the day, and if we're kind of rolling over, I'll take them off for about 80%. Or if we kind of start to move back up a little bit, I'll just let those expire for a full value on Friday. So I've got that going, and then what else am I in here? Got a lot of things I'm in at the moment. Not a lot. Spot. Yeah, forgot about Spot. TSCO broke down. I was in that. And then Spotify here on this, what was a 30-minute squeeze initially here that fired long, right? We got a nice little gap up today. That's also a put credit spread. So right now that's looking great. That is a put credit spread for this Friday. So that's also looking great for a 100% expiration. So those are the things I'm in, and we are sitting at 3 ATR on the indices as it were, and so I would be expecting some sort of a rollback. I mean, this is the Qs, new highs, the SPY also pushing new highs, kind of setting a doji candle up today, at least so far. Abby, your question is, how do you decide to get into spreads or calls? In another account, I am really experimenting with taking all of these TPS style trades with either a put or a call credit spread, and kind of experimenting with playing with those. They're a little bit more of a conservative play. But with a credit spread, so let's say here, I think I can look it up, I suppose. Like a KKR, for instance, I'm in the 80 and 81s, right? So if we go, you could play this as a straight call. Okay, 80 and 81s. Okay, or you could sell a spread, right? Get the credit for it, and then there's two. This credit spread will pay out if the name goes sideways and doesn't drop below these two lines, right? It pays out if it goes up. It pays out in the short term because it will go up, right? Or if it goes sideways, or if it just kind of meanders up, and right, theta works in my favor. So, right, when you buy a call, let's say you buy a call on this, and this is a daily chart, and you buy next week's, and this thing kind of moves up, and then just kind of does this, and then kind of does this, and then you get to your expiration date and it hasn't really moved up much, and the amount it's moved up has also been, cut by the theta decay. All of a sudden you're taking these off for scratch or maybe even a loss, right? Whereas if this wants to just, if you sell a put credit spread, right, and you've sold the option, now if it just goes sideways into the expiration date, you are, as long as it doesn't come in below your sold option strikes, you're going to make the full amount, right? Even if it doesn't go all the way up. So the only caveat to that is if this thing shoots, and goes to 100, I'm capped on the amount of money I can make on it, right? I'm also capped on the amount of money I can lose on it. Whereas a call, if it went to 100, you can make 300%. So it's a more conservative way, but what is the stock going to do? It's either going to go sideways, right? It's going to go down, or it's going to go up, right? That's pretty. It's not going to go backwards, right? So in a call credit spread, depending on where your levels are, a put credit spread, you win if it goes sideways. You win if it goes up. The only way you lose is if it goes down. So there's two different ways you can win on that trade versus only one. Does that make sense? So I'm experimenting with, in a different account, just taking put and call credit spreads. And then in my main account, I'm trading these as normal with puts and calls and puts. And I'm just seeing what happens to the win rate and how that ends up affecting the account balance. Yeah, you do have to worry. You do have to be somewhat careful about assignment, but only on something that's you're underwater in, right? You just have to kind of pay attention to it. Most of the time, I'm still honoring my stops, right? So if this goes below my stop, right, and then I'm gonna cut it before there's a chance for assignment. Yeah, your profits are capped. That's right. So are your losses though, which is nice. So your risk reward really, if you're buying at the kind of the right time, uh, comes to a one to one. In this case, I waited until we got a dip into these levels, and that's where I bought this spread. So it was basically a one to one risk reward, but that in a credit spread is better to me than a one to one because it can go sideways, it can go up. I win in both categories, and if it just doesn't do much until expiration, but stays above my levels, then that's also a win, right? So that's the difference. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to hit, you're not going to see me coming in here and saying, I mean, from this account, you might from my other account, coming in here and saying, oh, I made 400% on this option because I'm capped. But I think the win rate is could improve a little bit. And there's less stress watching it, right? There's less stress trying to find that option, trying to find the right option that is going to give you the amount of time for the name to move, but then not decay so fast that you're going to get beat up on theta. Theta's working in your favor, which kind of takes some of the stress out of it. So in most cases, I'm buying shorter dated spreads because I want them to expire. For instance, I had one last week on KKR. I think I bought it on Wednesday or something like that. I had a short dated, same strikes that expired at 100% because we were kind of in here, and now I have this week's that is looking pretty good to expire at 100% profit as well. So you just kind of keep stacking those on each other on a good, this is a daily chart obviously, but on a good pattern. So that's what I'm doing there. Um, yeah, spot, KKR, CBOE, Walmart, and V. Those are the ones I'm in. I've talked about all three of those. Oh, five, oh, sorry, not three of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. Yeah, and Joe, that's a little bit more of a complex option. Complex trade management. But yeah, there's other ways to manage those trades as well. So, oh yeah, that's awesome, Damien. Yep, spent a lot of time in Nuremberg as well. Nate, you're doing a good job. There was somebody in here that was asking, had some questions that I said I would answer when I came on the mic, and I can't remember what they were at the moment. Cheap to pay wants IWM. I'm sure IWM looks great on a 30-minute. I mean, everything looks great on a 30-minute, although I bet it's going to look a little extended. Let's see here. Oh, can't type. Yeah. I mean, it's got a nice squeeze. This candle makes me a little nervous. Kind of starting to look a little something like that. Although, you've got this nice, you've got, that's not what I wanted. You've got this nice sort of ascending trend line there. Nice little squeeze. I could see picking something up off of this 21 maybe, if you can get a little dip down in with a tight stop, knowing that you might be setting up head and shoulders, which tend to go down. Targets for WMT, I have 163, 30, 56, basically the touch of the high here, as target number one. 164.11 as target number two, and you have 165. Yeah, are you basing those off VP levels? Let's see. Yeah, I see your almost 165 level maybe as a VP level. I'm just on my levels, I'm using the 100% and then the 1272 on a Fibonacci. Right, that's how I'm finding both of those. Yeah, but that 163.55. On a short squeeze. Got it. I can definitely answer that. So that's how I'm finding my target. Target number one is 100%, and then target number two is 1272. This is the Fibonacci tool in TradingView. And you just basically draw from the top of the move to the bottom of the recent pullback, right? And then I can try and extend it out so it's a little bit more visible. Let's try that again. Because this pullback was so sharp, a lot of times you have a little bit more room, but right, if we pull it down to there, you get your Fibonacci levels within that 100% retracement, and then your targets are 1272 and a potential 1618. That must be your target number three. John, right? That 1618 level. JG, Amazon looks great to me. I took off profits this morning in Amazon, 150%. I bought it yesterday in here, right? As this was shaping up, I bought it in here on a little dip and took profits into this push yesterday, and then took profits into the gap up this morning. And I was looking at it on like a 1 minute here. So yesterday, well, let's talk about that trade. Yesterday, you see this yellow line. This is a value area high and a resistance level. And we were coming into it. It had already come in and rejected there and there. And we were coming into it again here. Maybe this was the first. Maybe I got in right in here. I waited for a bit of a pullback and then bought for this move up here. I can't remember if it was here or here as I draw all over this thing. But I was looking for a break over this level here. And we got that into the close, right? And so I think I took off that for this move at about 50%, 40%, somewhere around there. I typed in the room. I can't remember. And then I had a piece still on because of Netflix earnings, and then because obviously Amazon's going to move, and it popped as well. I don't know whether I like Amazon for a continued move here, because the markets look like they just kind of want to chop around at the moment. Yeah. Maybe off of a retest of VWAP or this point of control level. If we can stay above that, well, it looks like it wants to go right there. Yeah, I could see trying to play something maybe off of a VWAP or a test of that area. Right here, it's maybe a little extended. There's not really good risk reward for me if on an entry right here. But I'd definitely be keeping an eye on it today. What is, Damien, are you asking what's this bar graph here on the left-hand side of the screen? This stuff here? That's volume profile. That's essentially down here we're all used to volume by time because these are 1 minute candles in this situation. This shows volume by price, right? So it gives us support and resistance levels within, it gives us levels to play off of. So this is a point of control level, the largest piece right there that you can see. And that should provide, it's kind of an over-under level, but it also will act as support and resistance when you're above or below it. RJB, the one trade program, is that, are you talking about Profit Surge? Nate Bear's Profit Surge? It's not included in this program. we're getting some negative ticks here. Let's see if what are the Qs doing? I wonder if we're getting a sniper set up here. That's not the one I'm looking for. Hold on a minute. Probably not. Where's my sniper chart? Let's see here. I think it's on this other screen. Here it is. 3 minute. Yeah, no, we're not getting a sniper set up right now. See, this is the sniper setup. And we are not in an oversold, overbought condition yet on the 3 minute. Yeah, sorry about that. I keep putting things up on my other screen accidentally. RJB, just reach out to the mods in the mod chat and they'll help you out with that. I do not know the answer to that. Okay, so who was asking about a short squeeze? Are you still in here? Oh, Riggs, you also asked if it's being recorded. Yes, it's being recorded. And it will be at that link that I just put in later today. Yeah, the overbought level on those is I have it set so on a regular RSI. Yeah, usually that would be 70 and 30, and I kind of have moved that down to about 65. But this is an indicator here called Ready Aim Fire. It's a paid indicator, but basically this is, those are RSI levels. And then the signal there is when you get across on the MACD, essentially. We've figured out how to work that sniper setup without using a paid indicator like that. But I just use the paid indicator because I have it. Alan, you can do either a call debit spread or a put credit spread. It depends on kind of what you're trying to accomplish. I like to be the seller of that option and benefit from the theta decay. I like that. It kind of fits with my my temperament, I guess, right? But you can accomplish that goal either way. But both are more conservative trades, and are capped in terms of both your profit and your loss. But it makes them a little bit more conservative. Dell, how do I get what? The ready aim fire indicator, or just how do you get RSI on the chart? Baba has a 5-minute squeeze. Let's check it out. Yep. Nice little second day play on that gap up, essentially a earnings second day play kind of thing. So Sandra, a sniper setup that we've got some videos on it. If you click that link as well for the other recordings that I've done, I have a whole video on what the sniper setup is. But really quickly, the sniper setup is basically you can do it. You can do it on any name, but on a zero DTE option, which is either the SPX or the SPY or the QQQ. We're looking for a move up, right, or down, and we're looking for the reversal, right? So we're looking to see as it's moving up and stalling out, are we getting, an oversold condition, overbought condition, which is above this line, right? And then we're looking for that rollover. And in this case, this trigger here with this arrow, it's not as great because this pullback here was so sharp, right? But we're looking for a change in color in the candles, going from a light blue to a dark blue, and then a trigger indicator outside of RSI. So the reverse will, you can do it to the downside as well. And then we're going long or short with a DTE option, call or put, and trying to get 10 to 30% out of it. They're kind of quick hit trades. I haven't done one in a while, actually. I've been busy, trading other things. But when we say sniper setup, and it's typically on a 3-minute chart, right? So it's a quick little day trade. Yeah, you're basically scalping the reversal. Yeah, I did discuss Rock and Rob. I did discuss the V trade. Um, it has earnings into the close. I'm playing it off of this 30-minute chart here, and oh, sorry. I think earnings was that tomorrow. Yeah, January 25th. So yeah, that's into tomorrow. I have short dated options for Friday, obviously, because I'm not going to play it through earnings. I took it off the point of control here, and I'm just looking for a move up and a break of this recent all-time high, which is at 172.86, or a little bit below that, I guess. In anticipation of earnings as we go up, I'm up about 10% in that right now. And I'm only looking to make maybe 25, 30. It's pretty much a day trade. Yeah, and so on that, back to that sniper trade, you can accomplish the same goal. I should have them on here. So you can accomplish the same goal without using this paid indicator by using, no, not that one. Hold on a minute. There's RSI and there's MACD. So if I close this one, this is the RSI indicator, right? And that's a free one on TradingView. So you're looking for conditions that are, above 65, right? That's what we just talked about here. And you're getting a color reversal on these candles, which is also a free indicator. And you're getting a crossover on the MACD, right? So all of those pieces would have been, a trade. Wow, that is the least straight line ever drawn by any human. Let's do this. Right, here's our, okay, you get your crossover, you've got your darker colored candle, and you're coming out of what was a oversold condition, overbought condition. I always say that backwards. And so that would have been a trade trigger. But your stop is usually a break of the high up here, and if you're buying it down here, it's not leaving you a lot of room. So this would have been a bad signal today. And I probably would have not taken that trade, but just talking an example. So you need all those things to trigger to take a trade. I'm not currently in CCL. Yeah, all of the free indicators for the sniper trade are JS Squeeze Pro ES candles. And you have to change these colors. That's just an pro early signal candles. The RSI, basic RSI indicator, and a MACD indicator. And they're all free. Yeah, so RSI settings are right there if you want to take a screenshot. I didn't make any changes to those other than, I can't remember if it was default or not. Other than I moved from 70. No, it's just default settings for RSI. And the same for the MACD. And there, I have a video on it too. If you wanna go deeper into what is a sniper trade with examples, so you can go rewatch that. You know, I can even pull it up for you if you want to have a direct link to it. Let's see here. Where to go? There it is. It's the sniper trade setup. 0 DTE. Sniper trade is 0 DTE. There's the video. Nate Bear, I have not covered that yet, but I was going to do an extensive dissertation on is Tesla ever going to rally again? And basically, to sum it all up, is yes. Yes, it will. When? That's a whole nother question. Come on, V, let's get going. I need to notch another little nice breakout win. Look at this CBOE, Nate. What a great trade. Boom, boom. Easy peasy. These are my favorite, these little 30 minutes. Because, you know, we noticed it setting up kind of back in here. I think we had just missed this morning touch, and we got another one here. And that's the beauty of, you know, getting in here and marking up your charts, is that when you get a touch of your support level on a pattern that you really like, you know, you just come in and say, yes, please, thank you so much. I love that I got a fantastic entry right here, and then just ride it up. I mean, those are my absolute favorite, and that takes knowing your charts, knowing your levels, and then waiting for the right moment. I was talking with somebody this morning that was playing WMT. This is in chat, of course. And they were waiting for a good entry, and it started to move without them, I'm guessing kind of right there. And they're like, oh, it's going to go without me. And I'm like, well, that's fine. I mean, being patient and waiting for a good entry gives you better risk reward, and in turn gives you a better trade plan. If you're caught chasing, all of a sudden your risk reward starts to change, and it becomes a obviously a riskier trade. Thanks, Captain Obvious. Uh, so zero DTE means 0 days to expiration, which means it's same day expiration. The SPX, the QQQ, the SPY all have 0 DTE options or daily expiration options. Abby, what doesn't look like a woodpecker or packer? Did I miss an earlier question? CBOE? It doesn't? Let me move to when I bought it. Does that look like a woodpecker? We have our trend, right? We have our, essentially, we got a little bit of a dip. We've got our pattern, and we've got our squeeze, right? So, not all woodpeckers look identical, right? But we had this nice flag pattern running there, right? I mean, if I back it up even further, right? If I back it up even further, that really starts to look like a woodpecker, right? On this 30-minute squeeze, it just took longer to set up. Or if I move out to a daily, right? Before it went up, not a daily, I'm sorry, an hourly, we're looking at does that look like a woodpecker? Oh, what happened? Yeah, pretty darn close. So yeah, woodpecker with fangs, right? It's this overall shape we're looking for, right? We're looking for up, spike high, flagging pattern, right? Basically this flagging pattern, and that can be, it can have a flat top. It can have, when the true woodpecker comes down and kind of has a flat top, and then an ascending triangle and down. But it's essentially the exact same pattern as a push up and a flag, right? Or a pennant, or whatever you want to call it, or you can also have the descending triangle pattern. They're all the same, essentially. Yeah, not all woodpeckers have smooth feathers or even sharp beaks, but it's the same general setup. Now it doesn't look like a woodpecker anymore because it's done what it's supposed to do. Print this out as when you should be taking profits, right? You're taking profits up into those two levels there. You bought it down in here, and it's done what you wanted it to do, and you're taking profits. This is a finished, perfect TPS trade, if I do say so myself. It's the same pattern and the same look as this. Do you see some similarities there? Right? I'm not buying it now. I bought it in here, right? So if I back it up, this is great training, and this is a great tool, right? If I replay to here, Oh, look at that chart. Gimme, gimme, gimme. All day, twice on Sundays. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Love that chart. Those lines are lines I drew, right? Because that chart, as long as the market cooperates, it doesn't, it's not a 100% type of thing, but that chart turns into that, right? And if you bought here, you're selling here or even further, right? KKR is still in what zone, Jack? In the buy zone? I don't think so. I think it's extended. I think it's already starting its move. I mean, but what I was looking at earlier is let's look at it. Let's look at KKR in a 15 minute. I mean, look at this. Probably even on a 30 minute. Yeah. You can now, I'm in KKR on the daily and I'm still playing it. But look at KKR on the 30 minute. Are we set? Are we setting up a similar pattern? Where's my VRVP? What is happening right now? There we go. Right? I'd love to pick it up off of that point of control level that I just drew right there. The trade breaks down for me at this value area low right there. I'm going to make that yellow. Right? So here's a brand new trade. I've got, what do we have, right? We have a pattern moving up. We have a spike high, consolidation. We're making our flag or our bird pattern or our, I don't know what you'd call this, a little dog. You need to put an ear on it, right? Whoa. What just happened? Can you guys still see my screen? That's weird. I might have to shut down and restart. If you guys can still hear me, I don't know what just happened to my screens. They're gone. Did I do that? Bang, there we go. Wow, that was weird. So that's the second time I've done this. So right below, here, I'll show you. Sorry about that. Yeah, I use Epic Pen. And right below the trash can, which deletes your drawings, is this screen. And yesterday I accidentally hit it here and it made everything white and blinded the crap out of everybody. Sorry about that. And then here I could do Blackboard and make it dark. So then I wonder if I do that and then, if I want to write something, I see. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. I didn't even know if you could still hear me. I was like, my power just go out? No, things are still on. Steve's blind again. Sorry about that. Oh man, I've got issues going on over here. I got Siri going on. I got, everything's falling apart. All right, so returning back to trying not to blind everybody, this is a new pattern, right? And if we can get a buy off of here, like let's say this red line here, if we can come down in and get something off point of control, right? And we want to play into that high there, right? Here's our risk reward box. What are we looking at? We're looking at, a 5-to-1 risk reward here on this trade in this new 30-minute pattern that has not resolved itself. Right? And so that's why when we get a name, I don't know if KKR is doing it. It's not really. What's a name that's just flying right now? I mean, let's look at V. All right, let's just go back to V. if we go to V on like a daily, right? I mean, look at this. It's out of here. If we look at it, I mean, it's cruising. There's a couple of other names. I can't think of one off the top of my head. But what happens is the reason we play a trend, right, is because it goes up, it finds some area of consolidation, pullback and consolidation, and then it goes again. And then it finds some area of consolidation, and then it goes again. And if you can play these, you get to capture those moves, right? Here's a great area of consolidation and a big move out of that. And it happens on the shorter term time frames, right? So that's why on KKR, right, we're looking at it. Yeah, we're looking at it on a daily here, right? That daily went, it popped, and now it's forming a 30-minute, and it could continue its movement up out of that 30-minute. Does that make sense? Nate's buying some TJX. Anyway, so that's kind of the beauty of these is they'll move, they'll form a squeeze. You know, for instance, I'm betting there's a nice 78-minute squeeze right there, right? But we'd have to get into that and look at it, and that could have been played for this move, right? And then we have a daily squeeze here that gets moved up into a potential 30-minute squeeze, and that might continue to develop into something larger, and then potentially move up into earnings. Those are the moves we're looking for. So a lot of times see us play the same name multiple times within a move. Does anybody have any questions there? I think I'll probably wrap it up with that. V is pushing. I'd love to see it break here. I'm going to be watching that kind of carefully, see if it finds resistance up there and rolls, or if it wants to push through. I like what it's doing here on the 1 minute. I like what it's doing on the 1 minute from this dip when I picked it up, and I also these kind of run in conjunction. Mastercard has really moved up today, and so I'm kind of expecting V to kind of follow suit, although it's lagging a little bit behind. But everything else, Walmart's looking fine. It's not really doing anything. CBOE is profits into profits. And looks like it wants to continue its move up as well. So things are looking good. Chris, I basically was just covering that. In my opinion, yes, it's too late to get into KKR on the daily squeeze because it is almost back up to recent highs, right? However, I do see a trade set up on the 30-minute right here as it's consolidating after this move up that I'm playing on the daily. So, in my opinion, on the daily, it's extended and not a good entry if you're playing the daily, but it has a whole new pattern setting up here on the 30-minute. So, that's a yes and no question answer. Karine, that's a pretty complicated question. You essentially what I'm doing if I'm waiting for a spot for entry, I have an alert there, or I'm visually watching it. Um, that's how I'm doing it. I'm not calculating what the option price will be at that point and setting a limit order based on that. You can also set a conditional order if the stock price gets to e- 89, 83.90, buy this option, at market, right? You can do things like that. I usually do all of mine visually. Wow, had a little trouble with that word. I just wait until I see it or I have an alert go off, and then I buy it manually by running cash down to the bank. No, I mean I press the buttons myself is what I mean. Cat, if I'm playing a TPS pattern on a daily, I'm typically going out 2 to 3 weeks, so that it has time to resolve itself. If I'm playing a 30-minute chart, I I'm trying to go out 5 to 7 days. So if it's on a Monday or Tuesday, you could feasibly, you, I mean, I could feasibly consider going that week expiration. But if it's later in the week, I'll usually go the next week out, just to just to give myself time. But a 30-minute chart will ideally resolve itself, within a couple of days, where a daily might take a week or two. And that's just you kind of get a feel for that. I mean, if you have the account, buy them further out. You're never going to go wrong. It's not going to change the amount that it's going to move. It's not going to change. You'll still make, for the same move, you'll still make the same profits per contract. It's just, if the shorter dated, you can usually buy a few more contracts, but you also have to fight theta. So that's kind of the danger there. Reply to Larry C. Did Larry C put a question in? Oh, that's Nate Bear. That's not my trade. Yep, Jose, that's exactly right. DKNG, we'll look at that one, and then I gotta jump. Would you say on an hourly? Oh wow, look at that. Yeah, a little breakout over this level here. Is that an all-time high level or no? Looks like it. Nope, it's not. But it's still a great breakout level. It's definitely a 52-week high breakout. Um, yeah, I like that. Earnings coming up February 15th. What? So if our yellow line here, let's come down to an hourly chart. If our yellow line there is previous support, and we've just previous resistance, right? And we've just broken through it, what does it become? Old resistance becomes what? Anyone? Bueller? Yep, new support. And so if you like this name, what I would be watching, and I like this breakout, you finding this value area high and previous breakout level. A lot of times, either this is going to come up and then reject and then start to move back down within this pattern, right? Or you've pushed up and it's going to retest that level for a good risk reward buy for a continued move, right? So it's either going to fake breakout and sort of reclaim this pattern, or it's going to come back and retest and go. And it may have done that on a shorter time frame, but it hasn't really, as you can see. So yeah, I like it, especially with earnings coming up. Yeah, that was the whole idea. Bueller, anyone, anyone. All right, y'all. That's going to be it for me. I will be in chat and whatnot if anybody has any questions, or if I see anything else setting up, or if I take anything off. I will let y'all know. Have a great day.